What's going on YouTube? Welcome to another video. Starting off here in this vid with another leg day. Working our way up onto some heavier squats and just trying to use the principles we've discussed in previous vids to make sure that we are calibrating everything, making sure we're enforcing, trying to stay as rigid as possible and trying not to get that torso angle to change that pitches us forward. So as you can see here, just kind of working my way up. I did a little elbow thing here. That's just to put the elbows a little bit more far forward, so to help counteract the forward lean when the weight gets heavier, something I'm experimenting with. I'm going to see how it goes. Generally my elbows don't really move when I'm squatting. It's mainly the chest because that bar sometimes rolls. So really trying to mitigate that. One of the things I've found that tends to help is to set the torso angle before you squat. So when you do squat, it doesn't change, because sometimes when it changes, it puts that bar in another position, makes it harder to get out of the hole. So throwing on the belt here, the belt gives me a lot of confidence. When I squat, I feel more rigid and stable. And it's something that I've just always done. I've tried to delay it as much as I can to try to work on the core and everything, but squat for me is all about confidence. If I'm not feeling confident, I don't think I'm going to move as much weight. And it's just like a mental thing I have to deal with. I hate the feeling of squats. I despise squats. They do not feel good. I much prefer the SSB compared to the typical back squat with the barbell. So I was actually surprised by this set here. 391. I did this for 3 reps, so a little bit of a spoiler alert. But I felt like I found a groove here and kept going. And so I've noticed, I don't know if it's just genetic or something, but when I squat, I change colors. Sometimes I will straight up, you'll see blotches in my face. I used to take Accutane in college, and then anytime I overexert, I show it on my face now. So it's super, super annoying. And, I hate looking like that post-workout. And then it takes about a day or so to clear up, just self-confidence things. I take care of my skin, and so when stuff like this happens, it's, you really don't want to go heavy on squats. It's already an exercise I don't like, and so when I go to squat and then that happens as a side effect, I'm like, what's the point? So I'll cut them short sometimes, like I did here. I'll just do what I can. I can use that, that type of feeling as a gauge to how many reps and how heavy I'm going to go. So I think I just did 3 reps in the first set, 2 in the second, and then a single at the end just to get the volume in. And then I just did, I did what felt comfortable to me. And then after the squats, we're moving on to sumo deadlifts, which is, you're pretty accustomed to by now. I feel much more confident on the deadlift, even though it's, in my opinion, a harder lift to break things off the ground and, be able to reset after every rep is a skill. I don't consider touch and go deadlifts. If deadlift, that's using momentum, and it's not a deadlift, it's not from a dead stop. It's no different than any other lift you do, so I prefer being able to reset, get in a good position, and then go from there. So, this was an interesting workout with the squats and everything. Fatigued myself, and that was not a PR, but a PR in the short term. I've squatted more, but this is within the last couple of years where I've tapered back from it. So, definitely prefer the deadlifts. They do take a lot out of you. I'm not going to lie, but doing them in the same workout, it's like a great conditioner for your lower back, your lower body, and everything like that. So I much appreciate, the carryover there. And because I like deadlifts, I do them a second, so I look forward to doing them compared to the squats. So I try to get as many angles as I can. I feel like they're a lot cleaner in my squats. I'm just naturally a better deadlifter. I prefer the build up to them. I can find my groove easier on deadlifts than I can squats. There'll be some days I'm squatting and it's moving in a way that I'm not used to, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. And when I try to recreate, those type of conditions with the barbell squat, it's just not there. So for my quad exercise, I'm just doing heel elevated goblet squats. See, these are not difficult, but I am just trying to put emphasis on both depth and the quad. I mentioned before in a previous vid, I don't really like leg extensions. They cause more damage to my knees than I would like. There was one that was angled differently. It might be a little bit different, but I got to make do with what I have. So Moving on to bench on the secondary day. So this is the second bench day, but I consider it my main bench focus day because this is what you would consider a competition traditional style bench. So I don't go that wide. I used to. I ended up not liking the feeling on my shoulder, and it was a detriment to other lifts I was doing. So keep it here, and this is like the perfect, grip distance for me. Allows me to kind of engage everything and also stay stable. So just working my way up here. Bench, obviously, it's easier to warm up on. You can't do as much weight, and you can, really go up 40, 50 pounds pretty easily. And I usually just do singles, and then once I get to my top set, the goal is to just try to get the reps. So I think this week was 3 reps, which I think I hit on everything, which is surprising. And because usually on bench, I'll get in that 2 range, and then it's just not feeling good. So I don't know what was going on this week, but I had the horsepower and lack of fatigue to do it. And then I tapered back on the reps, hit my first set, and then I'll back off and do other things like that too. So trying on bench to work on the collapsing there where it kind of sinks in. And I feel like once I maybe lose some weight and am able to get a little bit tighter, that will be a little bit more beneficial for me. So I don't know. It's frustrating when you're in the gym consistently making progress and then you hit these roadblocks for no reason whatsoever. You could have whatever effort that you put in and it doesn't seem to matter. Your body's just like, nope, you're not going to get past this point. And so that's why people are doing other recreational things on the side to blow past that. So it's really frustrating. You would think you should be rewarded for putting in the time and effort and making the sacrifice to do it, but life doesn't work that way. So incredibly frustrating. And then strongman day here, just doing log cleans, working my way up, and I don't think my shoulder was bothering me this day, but I like the buttery smoothness of the clean. I think going through the multiple motions is a good way to warm up. Usually when we're squatting and deadlifting, it's a singular plane range of motion. And so when you have to warm up with stuff like this, it's like a whole body activity, right? Instead of just benching to bench to get your chest, shoulders, lats, and everything else fired up, when you're doing your log clean and your log clean and press, it's everything working together to get it from the floor to, your shoulders in a rack position to over your head. So it was a good workout. A little bit of a struggle here and there just for technical issues, but working past them, and I hit my numbers, worked up to 280 here. So again, with the elbows, I'm just not noticing. For some reason, I feel stronger in that position when I'm holding the log off the floor, and so I need to work on that. I definitely need to get my elbows higher to make the clean easier, because I end up readjusting on the press when I do the presses anyway. So I think if I can get into that groove there, that will just build better habits going forward and ultimately lead to heavier lifts and more progress and better strength gains. So yeah, just different angles here. I like to do a back off set just to get some reps in. I like the flow. I think this set I took a little bit because I did 250 for 3, and I think it took a little bit out of me, more than I expected. So I caught my breath to try to make sure I didn't miss that third clean. And I just kind of want to show sometimes that, when you see stuff on social media, not everyone is just blowing through their sets. Like, I'll take rest. I'll take a moment to recompose myself to get the rep, because you fail this set and you go back and do another one, you're adding more volume, and yeah, that's good for technique and stuff, but you're depleted. I'd rather do my set as perfect as I can, so to speak, in air quotes, because I want it to save that energy for the rest of the workout. So log clean here, and definitely utilizing the belt. My lower back takes a beating during these training weeks. It's just squats, deadlifts, any sort of rowing movement, and OHP too. And so why not give myself, the ability to do that? It does change the clean for me, which I hate, because if I could wear the belt, I feel like I could clean so much more. But there's a point where when I clean it, I can't get into position anymore, and it just, the momentum dies and I can't get that weight up there. So it's a very strange thing. I have noticed the speed difference in videos. It just changes my mechanics and dynamics. So, and then just trying to emphasize, I don't know what is wrong with my elbows. It just looks like I don't press out. but I do. My elbows are locked out, but from certain angles it doesn't look that way, which sometimes I'll hold the lockout like there to prove to myself that I'm actually doing what I'm saying I'm doing. So I don't know. The human body is weird. Everyone's different. We've all got different, appendages and the way that we're built. But you'll see here, yeah, like clean isn't too bad here. And then I try to press straight up and I put my head behind the log. And then I'll push press it and try to drive my head through. A couple of times I'll kip it forward, right? So I'll press and then my body will move behind. Just still trying to work on that triple extension or whatever. And it's interesting and weird since I'm not traditionally trained in that. So I kind of just had to figure it out for myself. But you can see here, yeah, clean is pretty easy here. I mean, not a lot of weight, so obviously. But the press, trying to control that dynamic. Something about, I don't know what it is about when I go to press with my arms and everything, it's almost like there's a roadblock partially through. So, but yeah, that's the workout. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video, and we're going to keep making gains. Bye-bye.